Women have been told so many things, but the one thing that's always stuck with me is, of course, as a woman, know your worth and add some tax. And that just goes to juice up and spice up the conversation we're about to have on today's Woman. Well, without fail, I'm still bringing you 4 segments right here. The Star Woman of the Week, the Winning Woman, which is, of course, our biggest conversation for the day. I bring you some tips on the trendy woman, and I haven't left the men out at all. You will still have your say on what your thoughts are later on the show. But for now, it's a good place to say thank you to my sponsors, Vlisco and Decor Zone, for styling this set for us. This is today's Woman. My name is Cookie T. Let's just take a quick break. We'll be right back. Make sure, without fail, stay with me. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Honey,
thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Now tell me, a little bird must have told you that I was going to wear green.
I had no idea.
Nobody told you?
So happy coincidence.
I know, right? Good to see you.
You too, Cookie. Good to see you.
I think the last time I saw you, I came to church.
No, the last time you saw me was in January at the EU Ambassador's Home.
I was just trying to let people know that I go to church sometimes. Don't do that.
Yes, you do sometimes.
Of course. But yes, that was at the EU Ambassador's residence.
Yes.
Where, can I say your protege? Can I say that Victoria Michaels? Or your mentee? Which one do we say?
Mentee, sister-in-love.
Everything else.
Everything.
Yeah,
Friend,
so that's the day that she was adorned as the EU Ambassador for this year. You're a people's person.
Very much so.
And listen, she could never talk about you or talk about her life without mentioning you. Did just loving people and being a people person come to you naturally? Is that the way you were born? Is that the gift God gave you?
Oh, yes, very much so. In fact, my mom would tell you that when I was so much younger, I used to tell her that, and I still feel that way, that I'm happy when everybody around me is happy. And that's really, really how I still feel.
I see.
Yeah.
You're happy when everybody around you is happy.
Yeah.
So are you giving, as in, does it come very naturally to you?
It does. It does. It does.
So I need about 60,000 pounds this afternoon. Is it workable?
It's workable. Just see me afterwards.
No, I want it here. That's what they all say. See me afterwards.
See me afterwards in private.
Exactly.
I'm also a private person.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll do that. Yes, that's why. You're a very private person.
Very.
And not too many people know your husband. But I know him.
Yes,
because he's a pastor.
Yes.
Revelation Church.
Correct.
Are you Ghanaian, by the way? I'm asking because of the Bedwei. Are you Ghanaian?
Okay. Yes, I'm Ghanaian, and I have different cultures as well represented in my family. So yes, part of me is Ghanaian.
Okay.
Part of me is Lebanese. So the Bedwei is Lebanese because I have Lebanese ancestry. Yes.
So that's where the Bedwei also is. Okay, Bedwei. Let me say it well. Bedwei.
Yes.
And then later on in life, marriage happened, and then the Ibe became part of it.
Yes.
I see.
Yes.
So is it okay, or is it accurate if I call you a woman of God?
Yes.
It's accurate?
It is.
Did you have the calling on your life before you got married, or it happened when marriage happened?
Well, I would say that the calling on my life before I got married was the calling that God, I believe, calls all of us to be close to Him. And it took me a while to answer that call. It took me a while to really settle into the fact that I need to really build my relationship with God, and I did years before I met my husband. So when I met my husband, it was a natural progression. It wasn't alien to me to become a woman of God in that sense, and very much involved in church. Yeah.
Okay, I see. Have you always been a church girl?
Well, that's
what
how
age?
I was.
What do you remember?
That's how I was raised, right? So maybe not very active. I mean, in fact, I don't think I was active at all. I just went to. I was a pew warmer. I warmed the seats.
A pew warmer, right?
I warmed the seat. As I matured, I got a bit more involved. But again, I was not as involved as I am now. But yeah, I believe in community. I believe in serving God. I believe in helping people, and I was doing that to an extent in my former church. Yeah.
So what department is your favorite in the church? Choir, ushering, which one? Do you have any?
We call it First Impression, which is our, I guess you would call it ushering welcome team. So actually I was in charge of sort of mentoring them, building them up, putting them together. But I love other departments, but that is where I've spent a lot of time.
Fantastic. I just want to understand something. You mentioned Bedwei is Lebanese.
Yes.
So did you grow up in Lebanon or you grew up here in Ghana?
Okay, so I grew up here. Well, no, I didn't actually grow up fully here in Ghana.
Okay.
But the Lebanese name is my Lebanese ancestry. So my great-grandfather's great-grandfather was Lebanese and came to Ghana in 18 something. Right?
18 something.
Yes.
But he must have run a business in Ghana, I'm sure.
Oh no, he did, and the family grew from there. So the Bedwei family is actually quite large, and there are a number of us here. So I always joke that most people know at least one Bedwei.
Exactly right. I know you, so at least I know one. Me. I see.
Yes.
So take us back into time.
Yes.
Growing up, wherever you grew up, whether it was here in Ghana or elsewhere.
Yeah.
Let's get to understand you and know you better.
Okay. So I would describe myself as somebody who has a very multicultural background.
Okay.
All right. So apart from the fact that, like I said, I have different heritages in my culture. I also grew up in different countries because my father was working with the United Nations when we were younger. Okay, and my parents also moved to Nigeria when most Ghanaians did move to Nigeria in the 70s. So my sister and I were actually born in Nigeria, and we stayed there for a few years, still in early childhood, and then we started traveling around the world with my dad. My dad was focusing on countries that were hit by hurricanes because he was into housing reconstruction. So which meant that we spent a lot of time in the Caribbean islands.
I can imagine.
Which was an idyllic place for childhood.
Yeah.
Most of my activities were around the beach.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was really, you know, it was a really beautiful childhood in that part of the world.
Right.
And those places still have a very, very dear place in my heart.
I see.
Yes. And so from there,
we
kind of spent some time in the UK in between my dad's posting. And then we also spent some time in the Indian Ocean island of Comoros, which is very small.
I don't like Comoros too much. They scored us the other day during a
yes,
Ghana
exactly.
match. Yes, they scored us. So I don't quite like them, but I'll reconsider because of you.
Yes.
So you lived in Comoros?
Well, we did. Yeah. In the 80s, we did. Yeah. And so I just came to Ghana for secondary school, and I went to St. Mary's, which is now St. Mary's Senior High School.
Hello.
Yeah,
hello.
We are small guns.
Hello.
We are small guns.
Hello. Are you joking?
Yes.
You went to St. Mary's?
I did.
Was it your time that Smartabe was around?
Yes.
Oh, you know Smartabe?
I do.
Miss Bramson?
Miss Bramson, no.
Oh, okay.
But Mrs. Soa was our
Mrs.
headmistress.
Soa.
Yes. Mrs. Sykes was
okay, so Miss Bramson came after Mrs. Soa.
Okay,
Mrs. Sykes. Mrs. Sykes.
Yes.
Anyway.
So I'm a small gun from 1 to upper 6, 7 years of my life.
Oh,
yeah.
we share a lot in common.
We
actually.
do.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was for secondary school.
Secondary school.
And then tertiary.
Then I left again. I went to the UK, and I went to university in the UK.
Globetrotter.
Globetrotter.
You've been everywhere in the world.
Yeah, and I think that has helped me become somebody who is very accommodating and tolerant of people of different cultures and accepting, understanding their different worldviews, different people, different thoughts that people have, and just being accepting and understanding what it's like to be a foreigner, understanding what it's like to be a local, understand the things that are pertinent to those experiences, and also being empathetic towards people.
Okay, so I know you're a global person. I mean, a global ambassador to all sorts of right causes and all that. But tell me, taxation, dear woman.
It's scary.
Yes, Bedwei, taxation. You could have done anything else.
Yeah.
But why taxation?
Because I like certainty, and I'll explain further. Right? So I did my undergrad in business economics in the UK, and I loved the finance world.
Okay.
And then I had I would say the privilege of having proper focused career advice. That is something that a lot of African children don't get.
We'll get there. So put a stone on that for me.
So having that career advice when I was 19 in first year of university guided me towards becoming a chartered accountant. They took their time and explained very well to me that was a proper career path for me, looking at my interests, and that is what I did. And so because of that, I entered the workforce very early.
Very early.
I graduated university at 21 and started working in an accountancy firm very early, right? And this is the reason why for about 4 years I had a career advisory blog, because I felt it was important to also give people the opportunity, especially our young people, to have proper career advice.
Yeah.
And since it would be difficult for me to mentor people individually, because how many people do I have time to mentor?
Yeah, you don't have the time.
Yeah. So I decided to just write the blog, and the blog was just talking about real life career experiences that would help people find their path better. So that's one of the things that I did. So that led me into accountancy.
Okay.
And then at some point I wanted to specialize in my career. And after I investigated all the areas of specialization, I found that taxation was certain.
Okay.
Every country in the world pays tax.
Right. Including here.
Including
we
here.
We have problems with it here, but
we
yes,
do have problems with it here, but we do.
Right.
And in good times and in bad times, you still need people who can understand and interpret the tax laws.
Yeah.
And also, it's something that's dynamic. It changes all the time.
Right.
And so that's why I went into that field. And going into that field in my place of business, PricewaterhouseCoopers, PwC, is one of the best decisions of my life.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So let's just go back a little bit. So before PwC, where were you working before you joined?
So I worked in a number of places. So
Okay.
I worked in a small accounting firm in the UK.
Okay.
And I worked in a training and consultancy firm as a finance manager. Then I worked in a multinational insurance company as a group finance accountant. So I was moving every 2 years. I was moving every 2 years. And then I eventually moved back to Ghana in 2003, 2004.
Right.
Took a bit of a career break. Went to work at Ernst & Young for about 3 months and then went into PwC. And I've been in PwC for 18 years.
For 8?
I thought I'd last 2.
No, wait.
18.
18, not
Yep.
8.
No, 18.
PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers.
Yeah, 18
so would
years
you
this
say
year.
that's been your best working place ever?
Oh, yeah. It has.
Okay, so hold on. Taxation, it's a lot of math. I am very weak when it comes to math.
Are you sure you're weak?
Let me tell you how it was.
Okay.
So in St. Mary's, Miss Nyame used to teach us literature and
Miss
English.
Nyame,
You remember
yes,
Miss
my dear
Nyame?
Miss Nyame, yeah.
I could go as high as 98 maths. Me try 55. No, that was my highest. So I could do 32, 28. It was so appalling. Did you always have the strength when it came to numbers?
So I also had a few issues with numbers in Form 1 or 2, but my mom just got me a maths teacher. You know, with this thing, it is the way you are taught. So once somebody just cracks the code, that's it. You just need to crack the code.
Do you remember the name of that maths teacher?
Yes, I remember his name, Mr. Boy.
Wow.
Mr. Boy, he was teaching at West Africa Secondary School, and he was my maths teacher would come to my house and just help me crack the code. And he changed my life. I got a 1, which is equivalent of an A in O-level mathematics. I even did mathematics at 6th form as well, A-level mathematics.
How old do you think he is now? I need him for my children. Because they can't count on me
Mr. Boy.
for any calculus or anything. But I'm sure he's still alive. Is he alive?
He's probably in his early 60s.
Oh, okay. Oh, so it means he can still do the job.
Yes, and I had another good maths teacher, Mr. Doe. Mr. Doe, I've met him. He works at Ghana Revenue Authority now. He's also approaching 60. Yeah, so, you know, having good teachers is key for a child's education. The way something is taught makes all the difference. And I can't help but I always mention this teacher of mine, Mr. Samuel Azasu, who was my economics teacher.
Okay.
He taught me economics from Form 3 all the way to 6th form. Because of him, I loved economics, and he made a big difference in my life.
Ooh, that's a fantastic upbringing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, for a female to be well-versed with numbers and calculus and all that, that's super impressive. But tell me, so if you're to differentiate between the atmosphere of paying taxes here in Ghana and in Abuja, what are we lacking here?
Discipline.
Oh.
It's as simple as that.
So discipline on the part of the people,
yes,
or discipline on the part of the tax collectors, GRA, I mean, which one is it?
We are all people who pay tax, including the tax collectors.
Okay.
So all of us need to be disciplined.
Okay.
That is it.
So discipline as in, I don't understand. Break it down.
So you see, I think Africans in general, okay, now let me just speak about Ghana, right?
Okay.
I think that we struggle to do things the right way until we are forced.
But you are taking money from me. So why do you want me to do it the right way?
If you went to live in Canada now, as most people are going to, you would pay tax and you wouldn't ask questions.
I paid taxes in America.
You would pay taxes in America. You wouldn't ask questions.
No, you won't.
Yes.
Because the system works.
Exactly.
I see my tax working.
Yes.
I see it constructing the roads. When I'm standing at the bus stop and it's raining, I could actually stand there the whole day or the whole time because I have a shed over my head and all that.
The social welfare system
doesn't happen
works.
Here, my sister.
But we need to investigate why it doesn't happen here. And I'm saying it comes back to discipline.
What have you found out? Apart from discipline, why doesn't taxation work in this country?
So, you know why I'm saying discipline? You know, everything we complain about the powers that be, about government and so on, it's just a reflection of what is happening in the household, honestly speaking. It's a microcosm of what is happening in the household. So if we teach our children that it's okay to dodge the rules and, you know, take a shortcut or bribe somebody instead of doing the right thing, that is what is in their mind, and they carry that through because they see it being perpetuated in society and they think it's okay.
Right.
So I think that before we point fingers to blame leaders and people in positions of authority, what are we doing in our homes, right? So that's what I'm saying is about discipline. And I've always, again, this is my empathetic, compassionate side of me. I just always think that whenever I have privilege, what about the people who don't?
Exactly.
I always think about that. If somebody opens a parking space for me to park because they think my car is nice, how about the person who can't afford a nice car? Why can't he or she park there? On what basis are they giving me the privilege?
The preference.
And even though it's beneficial to me and I'm comfortable, I always think about, but how about those who don't have a choice?
Right.
How about those who don't have access? Because money actually gives us access and choice. If you don't have that access, you have no choice but to ride the trotro, and if it crashes, you die. But if you have money, you have the choices.
Right.
And so you escape that fate. And so I always think about that even though I have that privilege, how about those who don't?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So then how do we balance the equation from where you sit as a woman and you are in a very male-dominated industry, and I'm sure you've had quite a number of backlashes, I want to believe. Oh, she's too bossy. Do you get that?
Again, not in my work environment.
Oh, they don't tell you.
You see, because again, let me sing the praises of PwC.
Okay. Maybe they say it's behind you.
It doesn't matter if they do, but I doubt they do. And even if they do, there's something about if you're in an environment where excellence is drummed into your head and that's what you're striving for, even if you fall short, it's still a very, very good performance.
You will learn that's very good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so in our firm, the culture is one of teamwork.
Okay.
And it's one of teamwork that is deeply ingrained in us. You have no idea. Teamwork, ethics, and values, and so on. So people are taught to support each other. And even if you don't actually like the person, it's not about liking. It's about support and respect. So I haven't had any backlash or anything like that in my environment where I spend most of my time in my organization. But yeah, definitely from outside, because I have to deal with people outside of the firm. I have to deal with various individuals. And yes, there have been instances where some men find it difficult to, I don't want to say take instruction from me, but to deal with the fact that I may be the person chairing the meeting.
They don't
or maybe
like
the person making the decision.
Sometimes it gets uncomfortable.
I think they are uncomfortable. They're uncomfortable, but again, it also comes down to my approach. Right. I don't go in guns blazing like you will do what I say or else. We are professionals. We respect each other, and let's get the job done. And eventually, I find that I win them over with my competence, and I win their respect. So again, for me, it's not about liking. It's about respect.
It's not about liking, it's about respect.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we've talked enough about taxation
and
men and respect and all that. Let's bring it home. Yep. So I see you wearing a very beautiful African print. Would you say you're into fashion and style? I like the way that the yes just came.
I love it.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
So are you able to inspire your own designs when it comes to people designing for you? Can you say, no, I don't want it this way?
Yes. Go ask the people
I like the way your answers are coming very swift.
Go ask the people who sew for me.
They have a hard time. You give them a hard time.
No, I just know what I like.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you like? What's your style?
I like classic, timeless pieces, and I'm very ladylike. So I like things that make me look like a lady.
I see.
I'm inspired by 1950s fashion.
Okay.
So feminine dresses, small waist, just very ladylike things. That's me.
I love the sound of small waist. Proper African woman. Have you always had short hair?
No, I haven't.
You've had long hair before?
I used to have long hair. That is why I'm enjoying the freedom now of short hair.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yes.
But it does suit you, though.
Thank you very
love
much.
this look. And, of course, the gray in the corners.
The gray in the corners.
Exactly. Makes it super beautiful.
Thank you.
I see. So if you're not chairing meetings or subtly and nicely commanding the men to do this, do that, what do you do for fun? Your hobbies, what do you do?
So now I'm very much into baking vegan desserts. So this is another thing about me. I'm very much into my health and my wellness.
Vegan desserts.
I'm telling you, Cookie, I need to let you taste some of the things I make. Because you know the thing, do you like desserts?
Yes, I do.
So do I. But do
but
desserts,
I
when you
know
look at
about
them,
vegan.
when you look at the dessert, it's
Yeah.
almost like you're putting on the weight instantly as you look at it. You see the problem, even before you eat it. But wouldn't it be great to eat something that was a dessert that tasted good, but wouldn't have any impact on your blood sugar or your weight? Yeah, and so that's what I've discovered. So I'm just enjoying the process, and I think that the baking helps me relax. Because I read somewhere that, you know, if you use your mind a lot when you're working, then use your hands to relax.
Oh.
Right? So if you're always thinking and calculating and, you know, chairing meetings or doing what you do as well, when you want to relax, go do something, make something, sew something, garden something, cook something, you know.
And it would help
It helps you relax. I find that it does for me.
It's therapeutic for you.
Very therapeutic. And it tastes good too.
Okay, so talking about it tastes good, would you want to do something for me this afternoon?
Yeah.
So what are we making? Vegan, vegan desserts, vegan...
Let's just make a salad. And we can do the vegan dessert when you come to my house.
Okay.
I'll invite you over.
But vegan, dear,
no,
is it going to
cookie,
taste?
Yeah, like imagine. Okay, do you like chocolate chip cookies?
Yes.
My
that's
name
is
my
Cookie.
weakness.
Hello. Also, you.
But can you imagine having a healthy chocolate chip cookie that is sweet, that is tasty, that is guilt-free?
I'm imagining it already.
It's amazing.
And I love the guilt-free part of it.
Guilt-free.
Because just when I smell the cookie, it's like 16,000 pounds already. Okay. Yes. All right, so it's a good place to take you into our little kitchenette for you to make something vegan for me.
Okay.
I hope I like it though, because vegan, dear. But anyway.
Okay, we'll just do salad. Don't worry.
Okay, but it's true. Where the age is getting to, we have to vegan. You understand? Like it has to be all green.
It has to be green.
Anyway, so we are getting our little kitchenette ready.
Okay.
When we come back, Ayesha Bedwei Ibe will be on the floor, showing you everything vegan. That's a new way to go. This is today's woman. We'll be right back.